Because WTF kind of intimacy are you trying to have when your wife is battling cancer? Is she an intimacy doll? If she's low on energy, even without cancer, her mind, body, emotions, and the intimacy will be so empty. But with cancer, you as a man should be protective, in all caps, of your wife in every way. That should come first. Unless, like I said, he just likes to expletive. I can't even say that. And it's not about the woman or the wife. In which case, if I was her, I'm buying him one of those toys they be advertising on IG, and hopefully it malfunctions and leaves. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and skip that. That one's a little bit too explicit. Hey, y'all. Welcome to the second half with A. Marie, where the vibe is peace, love, and prosperity. If you are new to the channel and you catch a vibe, please make sure that you share, like, and subscribe so that we can try to get this channel growing. And if you are a returning sub, thank you for your continued support. And if you can, share the videos. If you're enjoying them, share them with others as well. Okay, so today on episode 5 of In the Comments, we are going to talk about, so in episode 4, we talked about Kimmie and Maurice Scott, okay, where these are a couple that, well, they are a couple that does a show called Love and Marriage Huntsville. And in episode 4, we talked about how insensitive Kimmie's husband Maurice was with requiring her to provide him with intimacy while she was going through chemotherapy. And one of the comments that he made was, it's admirable of her to just roll over and take it. And so that infuriated a lot of fans from Love and Marriage Huntsville. And so the comments that we read, the chat was, people were not feeling Maurice. It was not looking good for him. And it's still not looking good for him. So Kimmie has responded. She did an interview on Fox Soul. And she has responded. Maurice was in the background looking unapologetic, in my opinion. And Kimmie was actually just, defending her husband. She did say that his comments were disrespectful and that she felt like she was not being protected. Okay. But he was very, I don't know, it just seemed to me that Maurice is the type of man that, he said what he said and he's not going to take it back. And they tried to, during the interview, they tried to get him to kind of rephrase and soften what he said. And he basically just said, the only reason why I'm up here is because my wife said that it made her feel disrespected and not protected. So that's basically the only reason why he decided to do the interview, because it made Kimmie feel some type of way. Not because he felt that he did anything or said anything wrong, but it made his wife feel disrespected and not protected. So, I mean, some people will say, okay, well, he is trying to make it right only for, because she feels some type of way about it. So he's apologetic for her and to her. But does it matter if it's still really how you feel? I don't know. But in episode 4, I did make the comment that if Kimmie likes it, we got to love it. If Kimmie loves it, we got to like it. That is her husband. She's made it clear she's not leaving him, and she doesn't agree with what he said, but they're moving on with their lives. And basically, we need to move on with our lives. So the interview was very, very interesting. And again, everybody kind of felt it was going to go this way anyway, that Kimmie was going to defend what her husband said. She's not leaving him. And I don't know. I just feel like for me, I would personally have a problem with a man that even thought that that was okay. That before he went on a national show, a podcast, and did an interview, that he would think about how his words are going to not only affect me, but as his wife, but affect our brand as a whole. And I think that he didn't even give it any thought because he really feels like what he said was okay. It was his feelings, and he said what he said. Okay. So guys, let's go ahead, and I am going to share the chat or the comments for episode 5 related to this interview that was done on Fox Soul, and what they think about Maurice and Kimmie Scott from Love and Marriage Huntsville. Okay, just give me a moment. Let me share my screen. All right, here we go. Okay, so the headline reads, Love and Marriage Huntsville star Kimmie Scott defends Maurice Scott's comments about making her have intimacy with him even though she's battling cancer. And in the comments it says, thoughts, neighbors? Okay, she said a whole bunch of nothing. Just say that's your man and you're gonna stick beside him. That's what one of the individuals in the comments said. Okay, the next comment says, the blogs posted what he said. Carlos was very clear in the line of questioning, and so was Maurice with his response. It sounds bad because it was bad. Okay. Next person says, Kimmie, you talking in circles. While you're battling cancer, he should be able to forget about his needs when it comes to life or death. That's just plain and simple. And I agree. One of the things that I was thinking about, I was like, why is that even a thought in your mind at this time? Like, you should be focused on your wife's recovery. I mean, I don't know, but you know. Well, the next person says, let's see, he must be one of those guys who likes empty intimacy, because certain words I can't say on here. I don't want to get in trouble. Okay. Because WTF kind of intimacy are you trying to have when your wife is battling cancer? Is she an intimacy doll? If she's low on energy, even without cancer, her mind, body, emotions, and the intimacy will be so empty. But with cancer, you as a man should be protective, in all caps, of your wife in every way. That should come first. Unless, like I said, he just likes to, expletive, I can't even say that. And it's not about the woman or the wife. In which case, if I was her, I'm buying him one of those toys they be advertising on IG, and hopefully it malfunctions and leaves. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and skip that. That one's a little bit too explicit, but you get the gist. Like, pretty much everyone is like appalled by Maurice Scott's comments, his behavior, just the idea that this is what's on his mind while his wife is going through something so scary and life-changing. It says, somebody else says, that's what happens when you marry men that aren't emotionally intelligent nor emotionally supportive. I couldn't have said that better myself. I totally agree. Emotional intelligence is key. Just because you're a businessman, just because you're making money, just because you dress the part, it does not mean that you have the emotional intelligence to be supportive for your woman. And if you don't have that emotional intelligence and your woman requires it, you're going to bump heads. But anyway, I digress. I'm only speaking from experience. Okay, it says, but a man being emotionally supportive is just as important. Battling cancer is no joke. You literally fighting for your life. And to be worried about intimacy when your partner is dealing with cancer ain't it. But whatever, she gonna stick with him, so whatever. And that is basically the truth. Kimmie is not leaving him. She may leave him down. I mean, I hope she doesn't, okay? I'm not wishing anything bad on them. I like Kimmie. I used to like Maurice too. I thought that they were one of the stronger couples on the show. And but I have different feelings. But what I feel and how I see things, it doesn't matter. She's not leaving her husband. Somebody else said, well, that's her problem. Can't defend everybody. And then another person said, typical behavior of a battered woman. I emotionally battered, yes. Do we know the ins and outs of their lives? No. Do we see everything? No. But we're getting a pretty good glimpse of who Maurice Scott actually is, just based on the words that are coming out of his mouth during this battle with cancer that his wife is going through. So somebody else says, it's disappointing to realize she might be a more polished and well-spoken version of Tisha. Okay, so Tisha is another star from Love and Marriage Huntsville, and her relationship with her husband has been in the blogs, and whoo, Lord, this is just too much. And then somebody else says, okay, this one says, as a cancer survivor, I see the hurt in Kimmie's eyes. The last slide, I dropped the tear. She appeared, she wanted to drop. If Maurice wanted to show us he has the same narcissistic approach as his brother, he showed us. So the brother that they're speaking of is Tisha's husband. So there's two brothers on the show. And the behavior of their wives, or how they treat their wives, now I'm starting to see that the fruit does not fall far from the tree, because Maurice and Marceau are very similar in what appears to be a narcissistic behavior or approach to how they deal with their women, and just how they deal with everything. So let me get back to where I was. It says, a lie how you didn't know she was not feeling well. You're an intelligent guy, so all this time now she has to force herself in health because you need a expletive. That's not admirable. That's mental abuse. Okay, so as you can see, the comments haven't changed much. They are still very, very against what he said, how he said it, the support that, you know, everybody feels like he's not providing his wife. And I think they're very disappointed in Kimmie, because it looks like she is, even though she said that she felt disrespected and not supported by her husband, I don't know what everybody wants. I don't want to see them divorced. What I would have liked to see is Maurice to actually be a little bit more sincere and in his apology and restate it. But he didn't feel bad for what he said, and he didn't feel like what he said was wrong. And he said what he said, and that's it. And she said, I'm not leaving my husband, so it is what it is. Okay, guys, I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, and that is In the Comments, episode 5. Again, Kimmie respond back to Maurice, or not. She responded back to all of the backlash that was happening because of what her husband said. And what are your thoughts, guys? What do you think? You can actually find this on YouTube, and you can actually look for the audio. One of the videos that I pulled up, it didn't have audio to it. That was Fox Soul's video on another platform. But anyway, if you want to actually see the full video, just pull it up on YouTube under Fox Soul, and you can just kind of see Maurice in the background, just kind of looking unapologetic, and Kimmie in the forefront of the video, taking up for her husband. Okay, so guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and stay tuned for more. Please make sure, again, that if you enjoyed this video, the last video had over 500 views. I would appreciate it if you view the video, just subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to grow the channel. I'm trying to bring you more content, and it's going to get really interesting. I'm going to start bringing a lot more things that are not just focused on gossip and what's in the blogs, but as you can see, if you've checked out my channel, I have fragrance videos, and there'll be some more interesting videos coming soon. So with that, guys, I want to say, please make sure that you love yourself first, because if you don't love yourself, nobody else will. And with that, I wish you peace, love, and prosperity. And I hope you enjoyed episode 5 of In the Comments. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Goodbye. I'm out.